So if you're anything like me, you're like, Craig, how can I get my hands on some colostrum today, like yesterday? How can I get some colostrum? Well, hold on, hold your horses, hold your cows. There's a lot to look for when searching for a colostrum product, because some companies, their sourcing is not the highest quality, but how do you know what to look for on a supplement label? Or when sourcing fresh colostrum? You wanna make sure that the colostrum is 100% grass-fed and finished. Now, a product and farm can just say grass-fed. There's really no legalities around the term grass-fed. All cows are fed grass at some point in their life. So all cows are technically grass-fed. That's all that label means. But if you see a label that says 100% grass-fed or grass-fed and finished, that means that that cow has to have been fed grass and finished on grass. There was no grain fed to that cow. So when looking for colostrum among meat and other organs, look for 100% grass-fed and finished. That's a good label to look for. Also, pasture raised doesn't really mean much. Pasture raised just refers to where the cow is raised. It has nothing to do with what the cow ate. Cows can still be raised in pasture, but still be fed grain. And we don't want that. We want cows that were fed grass, because this can actually change the omega content. This can change the nutrient profile in the cow's dairy, including colostrum. You also want to look for regenerative, where the cow's raised regeneratively, because this is not only healthier for the cows, that means the cows are rotated throughout pasture. They are not overgrazing in one particular area. The farm, the ranchers do a good job at rotating them, so that way they're getting more nutrient grass. They're not overgrazing in that one area. It's helping the environment, so they're not emitting as much methane into the environment as they're sequestering carbon into the soil. So regenerative is always a good label to look for. You also want to make sure you look for a product that's non-GMO and no antibiotics or vaccines were given to the cows either. Now, my first recommendation, my first option is not to go out and buy a colostrum supplement. My very first recommendation is to source out a local option. Can you go to your farm and get fresh colostrum from your farm? That is always hands down the best thing that you could ever do, is go source, support your local community, support your local farmers, or just take a little bit of research. Now, if you want some resources, you can go to the website realmilk.com, and this will give you a map of raw milk in your area. Now, you might have some right down the road, like where I've been going and getting all my raw dairy products and colostrum, but you can also maybe have to travel a little bit, but trust me, it's worth it. We personally here at Ancestral Supplements, we wanted to bridge that gap for you, because we understand that not everybody is going to have access to high quality colostrum. Not everybody can raise their own cows. Not everybody's going to have access to going down the road and getting colostrum, because colostrum is usually only available seasonally, depending on when the mothers give birth to their calves. But we wanted to make sure that we didn't cut any corners and that we sourced the highest quality colostrum that we could really find on the market. And so we source exclusively from both New Zealand and Australian ranchers. Have you ever seen where New Zealand is at? It's so far out in the middle of nowhere. There is minimal, if any, pollution getting to New Zealand. They also have very strict standards on GMO. They have very strict standards on vaccines. They also have very strict standards on what they can feed their cows. Now, our colostrum is 100% grass-fed and finished. It's regeneratively raised on wide open New Zealand pastures. It's also non-GMO. They've never been given vaccines or any antibiotics. And not to mention that our products have been third-party tested for ultimate purity. Now, it's not just our word. We've had other incorporations test our products to ensure that what's on the label is actually what you're getting. You're not getting any synthetic hormones. You're just getting pure 100% grass-fed and finished colostrum from regenerative farms. Now, in regards to another colostrum product on the market, I can't say for sure if they are fully 100% grass-fed and finished. I can't say for sure if they are regeneratively raised. But what I can tell you about ours, and this is something that I really truly love about our sourcing, is that we make sure, and this is something that you might not have thought about, we make sure that the colostrum, when we source our colostrum, all the calves have plenty of colostrum. We don't want to take any colostrum from the cows until the baby calves have had enough. We don't want to, reduce their nutrition just for the sake of getting our colostrum. If we run out of stock, we're going to wait until that baby calf has had enough colostrum before we source more. And that's something that I take good pride in and that I really truly love